We begin with the murder investigation that has stunned the entertainment world. Phil Hartman, who gained fame on Saturday Night Live, was found shot dead in his home, apparently killed by his wife, who then committed suicide.
Phil Hartman, born on September 24, 1948, in Brantford, Ontario, Canada, was a comedic genius who rose from humble beginnings in a large family to become a staple of American television. He was raised in California after his family moved there when he was 10. Hartman initially pursued graphic design, creating album covers for bands like Poco and America. His big break came in 1986 when he joined Saturday Night Live, where his impeccable impressions and versatility earned him the nickname The Glue from co-stars. He voiced beloved characters on The Simpsons like Troy McClure and Lionel Hutz, and starred in the sitcom News Radio from 1995 to 1998.
But slavery was abolished in this country. No offense, Catherine.
Why would I be offended by slavery being abolished?
I don't know, I just like to cover my bases.
Hartman's personal life seemed idyllic at first. He married his third wife, Bryn Omdahl, in 1987, and they had 2 children, Sean and Bergen. But behind closed doors, their marriage was turbulent. Bryn struggled with substance abuse, including cocaine and alcohol, and had a history of volatile behavior. On May 27, 1998, after an argument, Bryn went out partying and returned home intoxicated, while Hartman slept in their Encino, California home. Bryn shot him 3 times, with 2 bullets to the head and 1 to the side. She then confessed to friend Ron Douglas, who initially didn't believe her until he arrived and saw the scene. He then dialed 911.
Hi, this is 502 Encino Boulevard, and I think there's been a shooting here. We're going to send the police out there, okay?
Bryn barricaded herself in the bedroom and took her own life as police arrived.
Everybody loved him. You know, he was the only guy I know that in every group he was in, everyone loved him, from the Groundlings to Saturday Night Live to News Radio, you know. And comedians, they're very, very competitive, you know. And someone always has a problem with somebody, but not Phil.
Yeah. I lived in the same apartment building when I was on SNL as Phil.
Oh, wow.
So I'd see him. We'd go up on the elevators together and talk about shit. I was, of course he was older, so you were just excited that he'd be talking to you.
Yeah.
He was a cool motherfucker, yeah.
And he was like sterling silver. It was like every single take was just like perfect.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. And you just go, Phil, that was so great. And you go like, he was so kind of modestly proud of like, yeah, I felt pretty good about that too.
Yeah.
It was really nice. He had real modesty.
Hartman's death at 49 stunned Hollywood, leaving a silence where laughter once thrived. His legacy lives on through reruns, tributes, and most enduringly, through his children. February 1st, 1965, in Oakland, California. Brandon Bruce Lee was born to martial arts icon Bruce Lee and his wife, Linda. The family shuttled between Hong Kong and the United States as Bruce's career exploded. From a tender age, Brandon absorbed his father's teachings in Jeet Kune Do, Wing Chun, and other disciplines. Tragedy struck early in 1973, when Brandon was just 8. Bruce Lee died suddenly at 32 from cerebral edema, a swelling of the brain. The loss left an indelible mark on young Brandon, who continued training under mentors like Richard Bustillo and Jeff Imada. As a teenager, Brandon rebelled against the weight of his father's legacy. He quit martial arts briefly for soccer. He struggled in school, getting expelled from Chadwick School. Seeking his own path, he he studied acting at the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute in New York and majored in theater at Emerson College in Boston, where he honed his craft in stage productions.
Let's face it, at this point in my career, I don't have a wide body of work for people to be familiar with. Therefore, it doesn't strike me as particularly strange that their first expectation or opinion of me would be based upon what they do know, which is that I'm Bruce Lee's son. But it's not a particular hardship or anything, you know. In fact, I think it's something of an asset.
Brandon's career ignited in 1985 as a script reader in Los Angeles, and he quickly started landing roles. His first credited appearance came in 1986 from the TV movie Kung Fu, starring alongside David Carradine. That same year, he starred in the Hong Kong action flick Legacy of Rage, earning a nomination for Best New Performer at the Hong Kong Film Awards. Hollywood beckoned with Showdown in Little Tokyo alongside Dolph Lundgren, a cult favorite despite modest box office. In 1992's Rapid Fire, Brandon co-choreographed fights, showcasing a unique blend of aerobics and Jeet Kune Do. That same year, Brandon signed on for The Crow, an adaptation of James O'Barr's graphic novel. Directed by Alex Proyas, the film pursued a dark Gothic aesthetic. But from the very start, production was overshadowed by tragedy. On the first day of filming, a carpenter was electrocuted, suffering severe burns to his upper body. Then, on March 31st, 1993, with just days left in production, the unthinkable happened. In a scene where Brandon is shot by thugs, actor Michael Massey fired a prop Smith & Wesson revolver loaded with blanks. Unbeknownst to anyone, a fragment from a dummy bullet had lodged in the barrel earlier. He collapsed and was rushed to New Hanover Regional Medical Center. Surgeons couldn't save him.
Because we do not know when we will die, we get to think of life as an inexhaustible well. And yet everything happens only a certain number of times, and a very small number, really.
In Columbus, Ohio, a gunman climbed on the stage at the start of a show by the band Damage Plan and headed right for the lead guitarist Dimebag Darrell Abbott, one of the founders of the heavy metal band Pantera.
Darrell Lance Abbott was born into a family where music filled every room. His father, Jerry Abbott, was a respected country music songwriter and producer. The Abbott household had a recording studio in the garage. But there was another person who would shape his destiny, his older brother, Vinnie Paul. Together, the two brothers would form a bond that would shake heavy metal forever.
That was just like, I knew I wanted to play music. I know it hit him the same fucking way. It was unbelievable.
We grew up together, of course, you know, and so everything he went through, I went through at the same time, you know. And
by his teenage years, he was stepping onto stages across Texas, entering local guitar competitions, and dominating them, night after night, show after show, until finally they asked him not to come back. He had simply just outgrown them.
Man, I started off about the age of 14, half 15, around there. First time I got up there and I wailed and I did what I could. I got picked for the top 15, went to the club, had to get my parents to get me in the club and shit because I was underage. I was the youngest dude out of everybody. I hammered as hard as I could. Dude, I won first place and I just could not fucking believe it. It was a Dean guitar like I play and I just died because I always wanted one of those. And won that. Next time they had another one, I entered. Of course, I got in, won first place again, Charvel. Entered again, won first place, got an ESP guitar. Entered again. Next time, this is like 2 months per pop or 3 per pop.
What are you doing that people like? Just shredding?
I did a couple of licks that I'd made up on my own.
In the early 1980s, Daryl and Vinnie formed a band. That band would become one of the most influential metal groups in history, Pantera. At first, they played glam metal, but everything changed when a new vocalist joined, and his name was Phil Anselmo.
I flew down and I listened to the new Pantera, and I could tell that they were very intrigued and interested in getting more aggressive with their music, more up-tempo, more aggressive, so to speak. And that's when the work began. And I remember that night very well. I remember the whole thing. It was great chemistry, and to be that young and to be in a room with those fellas playing as excellently as they did, it was massive. It was a privilege. It was incredible.
The music became heavier, more powerful, and in 1990, Pantera released the album that would change metal forever, Cowboys from Hell.
When we got signed to the coolest label by the coolest people who said, give us the heaviest, rawest Pantera live album you can make and make that motherfucker kick from start to finish, and that's what we did.
Pantera followed with legendary albums like Vulgar Display of Power and Far Beyond Driven. In 1994, Far Beyond Driven debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts for a heavy metal album that was almost unheard of.
Definitely wasn't trying to be a hit single or something like that.
No, we just write songs, period.
But it gives some light and shade, doesn't it?
Well, we're not the type of band that's just hooked on this one thing
damn
either.
thing,
You know,
yeah.
like the next record that we do is like we'd like to tell everybody, it's not going to be Vulgar Display of Power Part 2. It's going to be a new Pantera album, and you know, with keeping that in mind, it's going to be the heaviest record of '93 also, or '94, whenever the damn thing comes out.
By the early 2000s, cracks began forming inside Pantera. Creative differences, personal conflicts, and distance between band members. Eventually, the band split apart.
Why do you feel Phil lost the vision for Pantera?
I don't know. I couldn't answer that for you, you know. I guess the next interview you do, you can ask him. In my opinion, I do feel like, you know, drugs and outside influences had a lot to do with it. When it went to shit, so to speak, all I can remember is them coming up and saying, why? Why? What's wrong with Phil? Look at my Cowboys from Hell tattoo. Look at my back. You know, I dedicated my life to you guys. What's going on? And all me and Dime could say, we don't know, man. We don't know. We cannot communicate. We don't know what the problem is.
But the brothers weren't finished. They started a new band, Damage Plan. And Dimebag was ready to start a new chapter, one that would be his last. Damage Plan took the stage at a small club. The band had barely started their first song, when suddenly a man named Nathan Gale rushed the stage. He opened fire, hitting Dimebag multiple times. Fans and crew attempted to stop the attacker. 3 other people were killed in the process. The gunman was eventually stopped by police officer James Niggemeyer. But by then, the damage was done. Heavy metal had lost one of its greatest icons.
And it was over. It was over just like that. I looked up and he was down. The cat was moving. And at that point, I ran to the floor where they had Dime on the floor.
It was like a real bad movie. None of it seemed real whatsoever. None of it.
The news shocked the music world.
He lived it. He breathed it. He meant every fucking second of it, and he could do it all.
I just remember him as being such a really cool guy. He was always happy. He'd always come to our shows when we played Dallas, and he'd invite us to his clubhouse, and he'd always bitch at Monkey and Head to play guitar solos. I always remember that, and he's just a great guy. It was just so unfortunate that happened to them. but he'll always be remembered. He's one of the greatest guitar players ever. I mean, if it was no Dimebag Darrell, there would be no Korn, obviously. I mean, he basically helped invent that kind of groove, heavy kind of thing. So, I mean, he's definitely guitar god in my eyes.
Their extreme thrash heaviness of that music is just it's a template of that design and all other bands, whether it's Lamb of God and all the other bands in that genre, they're measured. But Pantera is the gold.
One of the things people don't know about Dime, he had a guitar in his bathroom. I went in his bathroom one time. I sat down. I was like, he's got a guitar and he's got his little tape. What's that doing in here? I said, Dime, what's the deal with the guitar in the bathroom? He goes, man, that's where I write all my riffs. That's why my riffs are the shit. Sitting right there on the toilet, man. I mean, he straight up told me that, you know.
At his funeral, a special tribute arrived, a guitar belonging to Eddie Van Halen. Van Halen placed the guitar in Dimebag's casket, a final sign of respect from one guitar legend to another.